Click that like button so more parents can see this, because today's insight will completely change how you understand your child's behavior. Welcome to 100 Experts on Education. Here, we explore the wisdom of 100 educational thinkers to rediscover how children truly grow. Today, we step into the ideas of developmental psychologist Urie Bronfenbrenner and his life-changing message. A child is not an isolated individual. A child is the center of an ecosystem. Many parents wonder, why does my child behave so differently in different places? They're calm and focused at school, but explosive the moment they get home. They're polite and agreeable with strangers, but deeply emotional with you. They're cooperative with grandparents, but resistant at home. Why does this happen? Is our child putting on an act? Are we doing something wrong? Bronfenbrenner gives us a powerful answer. A child's behavior is not just about the child. It's a reflection of the ecosystem surrounding them. A child is not an island. They grow inside layers of relationships, expectations, stress, harmony, conflict, routines, and environments. All of these layers, not just the child, shape who they become. Bronfenbrenner called this the ecological systems theory. It's a bit of a mouthful, but the idea is simple and profound. He described 5 invisible layers that quietly shape a child's development, like the rings of a tree. Let's break them down. First, there's the microsystem. This is the world the child touches every single day. Their home, their school, their peers, their caregivers, their teachers. This is the most powerful layer because it directly surrounds them. The quality of interactions here, the warmth, the conflicts, the daily routines, has the most immediate impact on their sense of self and their behavior. A warm, predictable home creates a foundation of safety. A supportive classroom builds confidence. These are the building blocks of their world. Next, we have the mesosystem. Think of this as the connections between the different parts of their microsystem. It's the relationship between home and school. It's the communication, or lack thereof, between you and your child's teacher. It's the harmony, or the tension, between family members. When these systems work together, when parents and teachers are on the same page, when home life is consistent, children thrive. But when there's conflict, when home and school have different rules, or when parents disagree, the child is caught in the middle, and that creates stress. The third layer is the exosystem. This layer is fascinating because it includes things the child doesn't directly participate in, but which still shape their emotional world. A parent's stress at work, financial pressure on the family, a chaotic and unpredictable schedule, school policies, or even the safety of the neighborhood. A stressed parent brings that stress home, creating a tense atmosphere. The child absorbs this emotional weather long before they can name it or understand it. They feel the shift in the air, even if they don't know why. Then there's the fourth layer, the macrosystem. This is the big picture. These are the cultural values, social norms, and shared beliefs of the society we live in. A culture that prioritizes test scores above all else. A society that encourages constant comparison. The immense pressure for children to achieve, to be good all the time, to never make a mistake. This invisible atmosphere affects every single child more than we realize. It whispers what success looks like, what's valued, and what's expected. And finally, we have the chronosystem. This represents the dimension of time, major events and transitions that happen over the course of a child's life. Moving to a new city, the birth of a sibling, losing friendships, family separations, or even a global event like a pandemic. These experiences leave marks. They are turning points that can reshape a child's development, for better or for worse, depending on the support they receive during those times. When we put these 5 layers together, we discover something absolutely essential. A child's behavior is never just their behavior. It is the whole ecosystem speaking through them. A mother once told me, "My daughter has become so rebellious lately. She's defiant. She argues about everything. I just don't know what happened to my sweet girl." So I asked her a few questions based on this model. Are you under more stress than usual? Has anything changed at her school? Has your family gone through any big transitions recently? She paused, and then she sighed. Well, I recently changed jobs, and I'm completely overwhelmed and anxious all the time. And yes, we also just moved to a new house. You see? The child wasn't the problem. The entire ecosystem had shifted. Her daughter didn't have the words to say, "Mom, I'm scared. I feel overwhelmed by all these changes, and I feel your stress, and it's making me feel unstable." Instead, she expressed what the system could not speak. Her defiance was a cry for stability in a world that suddenly felt shaky. This brings us to one of Bronfenbrenner or Sayes' most powerful beliefs. To change a child's behavior, we must first change the environment around the child. Think about it. A child cannot become calm in a chaotic home. A child cannot become confident in an anxious atmosphere. A child cannot feel secure if the adults around them feel unstable and unpredictable. Their development is like a tree. You cannot yell at a tree to make it grow. You can't criticize it into blooming or force it to grow faster. You can only tend to its ecosystem. You tend to the soil, which is the quality of your family relationships. You tend to the sunlight, the emotional warmth and focused attention you provide. You tend to the water, the consistent presence and predictable routines. And you tend to the climate, the cultural messages and values that surround your child. When the environment becomes healthy, the child naturally grows stronger. They find their roots. And here's the most empowering part. Parents are not just spectators in this ecosystem. We are the primary designers of it. We shape the climate our children grow in every single day through our words, our actions, and our own emotional state. So, how do we create a healthy developmental ecosystem? Bronfenbrenner's work suggests 3 keys. First, stabilize the family atmosphere. This means consciously working to reduce yelling, reactivity, and emotional outbursts. It means increasing predictability and safety. When a child knows what to expect, when they feel emotionally safe at home, they can finally relax. A calm home creates a grounded child. Second, build a supportive network. A child shouldn't have to rely on just one person for everything. Healthy relationships with grandparents, trusted caregivers, good teachers, and positive peers give the child multiple pillars of support. This creates a safety net, so if one part of their world feels shaky, they have other stable connections to lean on. And third, and this might be the hardest one, regulate your own emotional state. A stable, centered parent creates a rooted child. Children co-regulate with us. They borrow our calm. They mirror our anxiety. This doesn't mean you have to be perfect. Children don't grow through perfection. They grow through your consistent emotional presence, your willingness to return to calm, to repair after a conflict, and to show them what emotional stability looks like. Bronfenbrenner's greatest lesson is this: a child is not a small, isolated individual to be fixed. A child is the center of a living, breathing system. So before you try to change your child's behavior, take a step back and look at the whole picture. Ask yourself, what in their world needs support? What needs stability? What needs healing? Is it the connection between home and school? Is it the stress level in the house? Is it a recent change that hasn't been processed? When the ecosystem becomes healthier, a child's confidence rises, their behavior naturally stabilizes, and their true potential begins to unfold, not because you fixed them, but because you nurtured the world they live in. So today, I invite you to ask yourself this one question. Is this really my child's problem, or is it the ecosystem's problem? The answer might change everything. If this helped you see your child in a new light, please click the like button. It helps this video reach more parents who need to hear it. And subscribe for more wisdom from 100 experts on education. Together, let's build ecosystems where all our children can grow with safety, connection, and love. Thanks for watching.